Parents. Parents. You silly little monkeys. Um, I don't know why modern parents, no, I'll just say it, they're so stupid. Um, they think they need to reinvent the wheel. Oh, let's try this modern thing. Oh, let's try this one. How about you just do what works? What we've done for since the beginning of time. How about that? Um, Here's what I mean. Okay, so number one, Ferberizing. There's no need for that. No, and I'm not saying it because it's going to do some harm to children. Maybe a tiny, mild bit for 1 in a million or something. But generally speaking, no. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sleep. Don't you want to sleep? Okay. What made you think it would be a good idea to put the baby by itself in another room? Baby's helpless, doesn't know anything, he can't communicate, can't do anything on its own except breathe. So, when the child does not need change, doesn't need to be fed, why is the child crying? Unless they're teething, right? Either of those three, if they're crying, why are they crying? They're crying because they woke up in the middle of the night and they looked around and saw, oh, I'm alone and it's dark. Ah! They don't know what the hell's going on. Where is everybody? I was abandoned. I'm left alone. I can't. And that's why it takes them a while to calm back down and oh, okay. And then an hour later, they open their eyes and they look around. I'm alone again. Oh my God. There's no need for that. Put the baby in the crib next to your bed. Put a little nightlight by the bed. So the baby wakes up, turns over. Oh, there's mommy. Go back to sleep. You can probably double your sleep time. It's a no-brainer. Anyhow, I'm a master in psychology. Okay, people. And I had one of the toughest uh, patients for the last 55 years. That's this guy. Okay, if I can deal with this guy right here, I can deal with just about anything. All right, so let's continue. So parents, they don't. The reason you get like the terrible twos, as they say, is because parents have this idea that the child, they don't know anything and they're not capable of knowing anything until they can speak well, and it's only then when they know anything. Absolutely wrong. Every moment of every day, from the time they're born, or before they're born, they're learning. Good, bad, indifferent, they're learning from everything. That's why they use all five senses. They pick everything up, they smell it, they taste it, they feel it, they listen if there's some sound. Doesn't mean they're hungry, doesn't mean they're trying to eat that toy. They're trying to get their senses of, okay, what is this? Okay? Hmm. Trying to figure out what it is. And it makes a noise. Why does it make a noise? That's weird. Okay, they're trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out all their surroundings, what the hell life is. Even themselves, they look at themselves and they go, what are these things? Look at this. Ooh, that's weird. They smell them, some, they bite their skin, they stretch it. They don't even know what they are. You know? But they learn in time. So Socrates, and you would know him as Socrates, said, give me your child at birth, and I will give you your child back at 2, and the rest of it, basically it's all done. You don't have to do any raising of the child. The child will be set for life. Now, he didn't mean like, let me steal your child. He just mean, you know, he knows how to raise the child properly so they have a good mentality and they have a great life ahead of them because of that. So here's what I mean. When the baby wants something, the only way of communicating is make noise. And if they don't make a loud noise, there's little to no response. So if they want to be picked up, or they just want out of this contraption you tied them into, this chair, and they're fidgeting, then they'll start screaming because they know screaming, that gets a response. Oh, when I scream and cry, mommy comes running. Okay. So they want something, scream and cry. So mommy comes. They're learning. So even as a baby, if you run over and just give them whatever it is that they want, they learn, okay, cry, scream, I get what I want. Okay. And that continues until they hit 2 or so. And now they can speak and they can walk, and so now they have the same mentality because they've learned through your responses. If I want something and I don't get it right away, then I need to yell and scream and cry. And so that's why you see in the terrible twos, oh, then I get what I want. They throw a tantrum, they scream and cry, and then you don't give it to them even more. Then they get even crazier because they don't understand. That's the only way they've ever gotten what they wanted before. And now they're not getting it. So they're going to be even louder because they don't know how to get what they want by words. They haven't learned that yet, or any other way. It's your job as a parent to teach them. So when they're a baby, speak to them like you're speaking to anyone else. Right? Don't treat them like a baby. Treat them like an adult in terms of how you talk to them and how you treat them. And don't just give what they want. They need to learn as an infant and a toddler that if they want something, they don't get it right away, then they need to just accept that and be quiet. Now it takes time, and work, but you're going to have 100 opportunities a day, every day, month after month after month, and so then they'll start getting it. One acquaintance of mine, he was phenomenal. He's the best I've ever seen with children. He'd have his baby. When his baby made a noise, he'd say, "Okay, hold on, and I'll get to you." And then even when the baby was get a little more agitated, he would talk to the baby and a little bit, pacify it, and move on. Didn't just run right away and pick it up and then, you know what I mean? And on and on and on. I mean, I can go on with it, but I hope you get the point. So then they learned that just wait. Give me a second because I'm in the middle of something. And just wait. And then when they got older, the kids, if they wanted something, said, "Daddy," and he would say, "Wait," and he'd, "Okay." And then they would sit there and wait, quietly, patiently. And then when it was done, "Okay, what did you want?" Another thing he did, you know how kids will ask questions. Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? Why is that? So he'd say, "Okay, anything you have, any questions you have, you write them down on this paper. And then every day we'll get together in the evening and we'll go over the questions that you have. And I'm not going to just tell you the answer. We're going to discover those answers together." And so he would pick out a book. And what was your question? Why is the The sky blue? Okay, well, let's pick out this book and let's read it together. This is why the sky is blue. You know what I mean? So, his kids had such a head start. They were so smart by the time they were 3 or 4, well behaved, very smart. Um, you know. So here's one other thing that really kills me is somehow parents will expect a little kid, 2, 3, 4 years old, to just sit and be quiet for a long period of time. It's impossible. They have so much energy. They can't just sit there and do nothing. Even if they're, drawing or coloring or whatever, still, they can't just sit. They got to stand. They got to maybe walk a little bit and then stand up. They don't want to just be sitting. They have too much energy. And so I would see that so many times where parents, I could see that they know what they should do, but they don't do it. For example, and you have to explain things thoroughly to them so that they fully understand it. So, for example, one lady I saw, she was in the parking lot of a grocery store, little kid, maybe 3, 4, or 5, and she was talking to another lady, and he was being good. He was staying by them, but he was just spinning around, being a kid, la 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 la, la, right, skipping. Then he started to slowly kind of go away a little bit, and she yelled at him, "Come here!" So he came there, and he kind of stared at her for a little bit, like, "Okay, come here," and what? And she just went on to talk to her friend. So the kid went, and he starts doing the same thing, and then she yells at him again. That went on several times, and then finally she's screaming at him, "Get here! I told you to come here!" And he's literally just like looking at her like, "I did. I came here. You said come here. I came here." Well, why are you yelling? Why are you mad? The kid doesn't get it because you're not explaining to him why you want him here, how long you want him here. You didn't say anything. You just said come here, so he did exactly what you wanted. You should be proud. He's a good boy. He did exactly what you wanted. What you should have done is say, "Hey, come here. Do me a favor. Stay right here while I finish talking, because it's very dangerous. So just stay here until we're done. Thank you." And I guarantee the kid, that particular kid anyway, he would have done that. He would have just stayed right there. Or she could have just put him in the car. They were at the car. Just put him in the car. Anyway, another instance I wanted to bring up. Was in a restaurant, and family was out to dinner. The little one was probably 3 or 4, something like that. Probably around 4-ish. And they tried to put him in a high chair. He's too big for that. I mean, he fit, but I mean, he's got too much energy. So he's immediately got, get me out of this thing. What are you? And they see him and they ignore it. Then he starts moaning. They ignore it. Then he starts crying. And then they just say, "Hey, keep quiet." They get mad. And that goes on and on. The whole time I'm thinking all he wants is to just stand next to you. Just take him out and put him next to you. He'll probably stay right there and be quiet. And it went on, and then he's finally screaming, and finally they take him out. And what does he do? He just immediately stops, and he stands right there next to him, quiet as can be. That's all he wanted in the first place. It's a kid. Why are you forcing adult behavior on a little kid that you know can't sit there and not fidget and not be quiet? You know that. So it's frustrating to see that. And no, it's not. None of those things are, anything that's going to do damage to the kid necessarily. I mean, I suppose it's possible, 1 in a million or whatever, but it would be minor anyway. But that's not the point. The point is that, again, you're in a restaurant. Now everyone's got to deal with a screaming kid, and they didn't have to. Or you're dealing with the terrible twos, and you didn't have to. At least not as bad. So anyway, I'm just getting some stuff out there. Hopefully, You take those words of wisdom.